What if the most important Mac Apple sells in 2026 is not the Mac Pro, not even the Mac Studio, but a tiny box that fits in your hand? A machine so small, so quiet, and so cheap that it makes you question why you would ever buy anything bigger. That is exactly what Apple's leaked desktop roadmap is pointing toward. And if these leaks are accurate, we may be watching the quiet end of the Mac Pro, a machine that once defined professional computing for nearly 2 decades. Before you buy any Mac in the next year or two, you really need to hear this. Because Apple's desktop lineup is about to change in a way that could save you thousands of dollars or cost you a lot if you buy at the wrong time. The center of this shift is the upcoming Mac Mini with the M5 chip, a machine that almost nobody expected to become Apple's best value computer. And yet, here we are. The current Mac Mini already shocked everyone. When Apple released the M4 Mac Mini, it did something rare. It made a genuinely great product at a genuinely low price. For around $600 and often less on sale, you got a desktop that outperformed many full-size PCs, stayed almost silent, and used very little power. It did not overheat. It did not sound like a jet engine. It did not feel slow. For many people, it was the biggest leap the Mac Mini had seen in nearly 20 years. Now the leaks suggest Apple is not slowing down. The 2026 refresh is expected to jump straight to M5 and M5 Pro chips. And this is where things get really interesting. Early reports say the M5 chip brings around 15 to 16% faster CPU performance compared to M4. GPU performance jumps even more, close to 20% in real professional workloads. And in some games, frame rates could be up to 30% higher. That is not a small upgrade. That is a meaningful jump that you will actually feel. But raw speed is only part of the story. The real upgrade is AI. According to leaks, the neural engine inside the M5 is significantly improved, around 18% faster in tasks like video upscaling, image processing, and local AI workloads. And this matters more than people realize. It means more AI tools running directly on your Mac. Faster, with less delay, and better privacy, because your data does not need to go to the cloud. In simple terms, your Mac becomes smarter without becoming louder, hotter, or more expensive. That is the Apple Silicon advantage, and M5 seems to push it even further. And the best part is that all of this is expected to come in the same compact Mac Mini box at the same starting price. Apple already moved the base Mac Mini to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and that is expected to stay. No more 8 gigabytes pretending to be enough for serious work. The M5 Pro Mac Mini is expected to start at 24 gigabytes of memory, similar to current Pro chips. That makes it a real option for developers, content creators, and even light 3D work. Design-wise, do not expect any big changes. Apple rarely redesigns the Mac Mini. When they do, it usually stays the same for many years. The current design is still fresh, and it will likely remain unchanged in 2026. Ports should feel familiar too. The standard M5 Mac Mini is expected to keep 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the back and 2 USB-C ports on the front. The M5 Pro version is rumored to upgrade the back ports to Thunderbolt 5, while keeping the same front layout. There is a small chance Apple brings Thunderbolt 5 to the front on the Pro model, but based on Apple's current behavior, that feature may stay exclusive to higher-end machines. Wireless connectivity will likely include Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3, similar to recent MacBook Pros. Some reports suggest Wi-Fi 7 could arrive on the M5 Pro Mac Mini, matching newer iPad Pro chips, but that is still uncertain. What has seemed clear is pricing. Multiple sources expect Apple to hold that aggressive $600 starting price in the US. Launch timing points to mid-2026, likely around WWDC. If that happens, the M5 Mac Mini becomes one of the most important Macs Apple sells. A compact desktop that delivers insane performance per dollar. Perfect for students, developers, YouTubers, musicians, even casual gamers. It quietly becomes the default recommendation for almost everyone. But what if you need more power? A lot more power. That is where the Mac Studio comes in. And this is where Apple's desktop strategy becomes very clear. The M.A.C. Studio is expected to jump straight to M5 Max and M5 Ultra chips. There will be no M4 Ultra generation. Apple is skipping it entirely. The reason matters. Leaks suggest Apple is redesigning how CPU and GPU blocks are arranged inside the M5 Max and M5 Ultra. In practical terms, this could bring back something professionals have missed for years. Flexibility. During the Intel era, you could choose a stronger GPU without paying for the absolute top CPU, or the other way around. Apple Silicon removed that choice. Everything was bundled together. With M5 Max and M5 Ultra, that might change. Imagine you're a 3D artist or AI researcher. You need massive GPU power but do not need the highest CPU. Instead of being forced into the most expensive configuration just to unlock GPU cores, you could choose a setup that focuses on graphics. Or maybe your work is CPU heavy, large code bases, scientific simulations, compilation tasks. You could prioritize CPU without overpaying for GPU power you barely use. This kind of flexibility would be huge. And when you combine it with the performance gains already seen in M5 mobile chips, things get serious. M5 GPUs are testing around 20% faster in professional apps and up to 30% faster in some games compared to M4. Scale that up to a desktop class M5 Max with better cooling, and you're looking at performance similar to future high-end laptop GPUs inside a box smaller than most speakers. Externally, the Mac Studio likely stays the same. Same compact aluminum design, same clean look, same general port layout. But the difference compared to the Mac Mini is important. The Studio Ultra model offers front Thunderbolt ports, not just USB-C. That matters a lot for real professional workflows. External drives, audio interface, video capture devices, multiple displays. Everything becomes easier. Pricing is expected to stay familiar. Around $2,000 for the M5 Mac Studio. Around $4,000 for the M5 Ultra Studio. Launch timing again points to mid-2026, likely around WWDC. And here is a smart strategy many people overlook. If you want a Mac Studio, wait. Let the M5 models launch. Then watch Apple's refurbished store. Within a few months, you could grab a discounted M5 Max or even M5 Ultra with full warranty. So now we have a clear picture forming. The Mac Mini becomes the insane value pick. The Mac Studio becomes the true professional desktop, powerful enough for almost any workload, while staying compact and quiet. And that leaves one uncomfortable question. What happens to the Mac Pro? Right now, Apple still sells a Mac Pro with an M2 Ultra chip, a processor that is already several generations behind what is in the latest MacBook Pro. There was no M3 Ultra Mac Pro, no M4 Ultra Mac Pro, just silence. Walk into an Apple store today and you will see a $7,000 Mac Pro that is slower than a $4,000 Mac Studio. That is a hard reality to ignore. What does the Mac Pro actually give you today? A massive tower, a slower chip, PCI expansion slots that cannot even support modern GPUs, mostly used for extra storage or very specific cards. For most professionals, that is a terrible deal, and Apple seems to know it. According to reliable reports, development of an M4 Ultra Mac Pro was canceled. Apple is focusing entirely on the Mac Studio as its highest-end desktop. The reason is simple. The identity of the Mac Pro used to be modularity. Swap GPUs, add RAM, upgrade CPUs. Apple Silicon changed everything. CPU, GPU, and memory are now on one package. You choose once, and you live with it. And modern Apple chips are so efficient that they do not need a massive tower to stay cool. The Mac Studio already handles extreme workloads while staying quiet. If you need more ports or storage, Thunderbolt docks and external enclosures solve most problems with a single cable. In that world, a giant aluminum box that cannot take a modern GPU starts to feel pointless. Unless Apple completely reinvents the Mac Pro for servers or very specialized industries. The leaks point in one direction. The Mac Pro, as we know, is nearing the end. If that happens, it quietly ends nearly 20 years of the Mac Pro name. Not with a big announcement, just a silent removal from Apple's website one day. So where does that leave you? Looking ahead to 2026, the picture is surprisingly clear. The M5 Mac Mini becomes the obvious choice for most people. Insane perfo, romance per dollar, tiny size, low power use, quiet operation. The M5 Max and M5 Ultra Max Studio become the real professional machines. Powerful, flexible, compact, capable of replacing traditional towers. And the Mac Pro fades into history. In my opinion, this is the smartest desktop strategy Apple has had in years. Instead of pushing everyone toward expensive machines, Apple is making the best value Mac even better. If these leaks are accurate, the Mac Mini M5 might be the most important computer Apple releases in 2026. Not because it is flashy, but because it makes powerful computing accessible. If you're planning to buy a Mac, waiting could save you a lot of money. Or it could help you buy the right machine for your needs instead of overspending. And that is what really matters. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.